States of America. It dedicated this song to one of the biggest organizations in the world. We had.
Yeah, made a crack on the mix.
91 big boy Pekin.
It's your double tap, see the ball.
Daily days.
091.
Yellow flag TVs.
Hallelujah.
Come on.
We are the organization. Don't come for every nation. We are the organization. Don't come for promote the nation. They know they mix my politics. They know they pass tribalism. They know they mix my politics. Yeah. They know they pan no tribalism.
This now we had. Duck and now we land. So we all and fine. This now we had. Duck and now we land. So we all and fine. Oza. We know they back kapu. We had no mix bag bamu. We know they back kapu. We had no mix bag bamu. Go tell the brother, sister, them say we had don't come
Oh, we are now we are.
Tell them for me, say we had don't come
Oh, we are now we are. We are the organization. Don't come for every nation. We are the organization. Don't come for promote the nation. They know they mix our politics. They know they pass tribalism. They know they mix our politics. Yeah. They know they pass no tribalism.
Big respect to the one who make we had to abstract.
Discuss the different issues them way the newspaper them don't carry all way we don't see they go on. One more time, good morning and welcome. This next program progress. We look at quickly what in the paper them say, and then we guess one of the guests don't actually ready. Where we don't see a really ready pass, even we wasted on ourselves. Anyway, so we go straight and we do look at the first paper when at the AYV newspaper. The AYV newspaper get this big banner headline and they say AYV is a Phoebe Field nominated as 40 under 40 Africa. Alright, and then you get Solomon Jamiru resigned from State House. Honorable Parliamentary did not recruit his wife. Okay, investigation shows. And 1.6 billion, sorry, that advance. We'll go to the next paper. We now the Independent Observer as Bill signs 2024 Finance Act more hardship on suffering masses. We accept the decision of the court, AG, Attorney General. And the next one at the C40 media is ECOWAS impressed with Bill's humanitarian gesture, and Sierra Leone missed over 400 million MCC compact in shattered dreams. And you as well get other story that waiting inside this paper for this morning. The next one are the Women News. Threats against public facing women persist, and coup attempts 10 more to be charged. Former president arrives in Nigeria, and Land Alliance demand compensation from British government. This is another story for you inside this Premier News. The AZ newspaper. Treason offense is bailable. The Attorney General, Minister of Justice, tell journalists then, and ECOWAS commends Sierra Leone for granting EBK medical leave, and government of Sierra Leone provides 100 million loans to families of fallen service members. And the other story for you inside this edition, and they get the next paper when the Heritage newspaper conspiracy theories against NetPage CEO crashed. President Bill signed Finance Act 2024. The next paper, now the Expo Times, and they say coup trial. This is not a witch hunt, says Justice Minister. The poor and vulnerable are always the biggest losers during instability. FBC just if we go by one of the new policies. And then you get positive classroom environment key to effective learning. Statistics Sierra Leone appoints Deputy Statistician General. The next paper, now the Salon Compass, we say Holy Ghost fire in Parliament. Clerk in 5G corruption scam. Speaker in sexual harassment allegation. SLPP MPs at loggerhead. And alleged double payment. Gentle Group clarifies. The other paper, now Night Watch. Honest gone, game over. SLPP boys disappointed. And they get rapid firing at Cockhill between soldiers and the enemy. Lieutenant Jewel tells the court. In net newspaper, United States, United Nations rep to visit President Bio welcomes Sierra Leone to UN Security Council, and Ombudsman gears up to investigate redundancy of 87 parliamentary staff, and citizen decry 165 million new pilgrims fare to Mecca. The next paper, now the Apex Finance Act triggers public concern. And you as well get State House Press Secretary resigned to deeply private legal practice. NDMA formalizes disaster management committee in Western Rural District. The next paper, now the Africa News 24. Ongoing failed coup trial, President Bio assures fairness and transparency. Inter-Ministerial Agency Committee on robust site inspection to curb lawlessness within WAP-NP. And you as well get the departure of former President Kuruma, the price we paid for peace. Failed coup trial, Attorney General brief the press. Modern Times, a Modern Seas newspaper, say President Bio assures family of victim of November 26 failed coup. We shall bring all those involved to justice. Labour Minister engaged acting Chief Justice, and 12 years old Angela Amara Fefegula wins 25,000 million scholarship. The next paper, now the Calabash newspaper, gentle group of companies refutes allegation of double payment in the 2022 audit report. Financial Secretary clears net page of no royalty payment obligation to government. November 26, failed coup. Attorney General provides detailed update on charges against 27 military personnel, 13 civilians. And Communication Ministry applauds official Women Empowerment Initiative. The next paper, now the Standard Times newspaper, auditors exposed. Gentle group never collects double payments. Treason, more 10 soldiers to be charged. And others to read them. The Hunter newspaper say no double payments received. Gentle group refutes Auditor General's lies. Auditors, General's lies, and EcoBank fraud, the head of retail operation, and two others wanted. Thank you very much. And then we go to the next paper, now the Owl newspaper, and they say, as international pressure and corruption intensifies in Sierra Leone government, President Bio's press secretary resigned, and you as well get over the implementation of the agreement for national unity. U.S. President to send special delegation to Sierra Leone. And the last paper, where we get the second to last paper, okay, let me see. Expo Times say is eligible back for good. The next one, Forum newspaper, say corruption stinks at Agriculture Ministry. Until the right thing is done, I will continue to work from my home. Speaker says, and Ministry of Basic Education exposed as Paran grapple with corruption scandal. And the last paper we get, now the Open Space newspaper, and they say with 415 gas stations serving consumers, PRA boss tells 5 years success story. And to speedily address labor disputes, Labor Minister Chief Justice discuss industrial court challenges. This and all of the people that we get inside the program this morning, we actually go quick now and see how we can bring we get them inside for that we come and discuss the different issues them. So of course we get one of the guests we get inside the program this morning, and in him now Oswald and Seals. Good morning and welcome to the program, The Guru.
Good morning, Chorus. How are you?
Thank you for what you do. Patiently wait for we start.
Thank you.
Yes, the Guru. Yes, land in a household name, and even the associate for some also. I wonder, past moment the one that we just joined me and they not sabi that name there right now. Oswald and Sales. Okay, let me start with this quickly. We want to look at something very much important. But you been write one book about the former president, first of all, where you say the natural born leader, right?
Yes, 2011.
Okay. And I think if I get that right, correct me if I'm wrong, after that particular time, and you be actually join a state house, for work day, yeah?
Yes, as special assistant for media outreach.
And after when you join a state house, it will give you the opportunity, it will give you the free hand for actually criticizing government, right?
Well, yes, I don't write that after 2018 1,000 times, because now one of the things I can always praise the former president for. He give me complete free hand. I continue for publish my newspaper column, and now one day, directly or indirectly, tell me waiting for right. And now one day it way me then a power, criticize me, or even obliquely through them one day when they see every day in their office. Nobody now one day can tell me, say the panel like what do you write to? And during that period, I criticized in very blistering language the APC, Shaka Stevens, Mama, in the president himself. I criticized them. And also, because they criticized cabinet ministers, then that means implicitly I've been criticized in the presidential administration. I criticized Miata Kagbo. The way the attitude, it was too combative with the press when the Ebola thing start. I criticize Paulo Conte when I be internal affairs minister, retired major. We in the one pull the Okada riders off the central business district. I wrote 4 scathing articles against that. In fact, one of my articles say the title was that you'll be swept like rubbish and thrown to the rubbish heap if you remove those Okada riders off the streets. And I criticized on social media many times the agriculture minister, what was named Sam Sisi. So that was in a continuous process. I would very seldom, all my 6 years, I would write any.
Basically, they try to build, the foundation for this discussion where they can get, yeah. So it would nice for them to get that kind of background. And no way, no day, upon all of them things that we highlight, so where we don't see or where we may see from your side, your opinion. Apart from party people then, but no way, not the way you may get pressure from Ernest Baikoma or any one of people in office directly for tell you say no, because Ernest Baikoma say yes, you get right for work and you get right for right, you issues them, where you want for right as long as they're in the interest of the country, right?
Well, yes. I suspect that. Him recognize that fact that at least now one person inside in administration, the right what him feel. I even take today the president for that, and I can always say I doubt whether that has happened anywhere in Africa.
Okay, so that's the question now I can put to you. August 10, 20, I think it was 2020 or so. Where we see the issue of the press secretary, we just resigned. By then, now the information minister. From there, we see them make deputy information minister, deputy foreign affairs minister, deputy information minister, and press secretary. Recently, he don't resign, and we know the kind of pressure where he been receive at one point where he been come out with an audio for tell the president too about certain things them, how we for bring the country together, how we for they engage and talk to people them. So let's ask you this question now. What do you think about the resignation of Solomon Jamiu?
I can't think anything about it because the man has not said why he resigned, so I can't make a comment on that.
Taking into consideration the banker, you think, say, okay, a man like this, for he resign in the presidency, what do it mean? What do you feel say it mean to the presidency?
People resign for diverse reasons, so one cannot speculate.
No, we don't talk about the reason why he resigned. The question is, okay, he don't resign, whether personal, whether private, whether public, like it up to them for talk about why he resigned. But the question now is, a man like Dawande, the kind of person where he be, the kind of charisma where he gets, for let he resign from the presidency, what think this could mean for the presidency? Now that's what I basically ask.
You have forced me for speculate. I know say this man, Dr. Julius Spencer, after we infect very hard in this underground radio during the AFRC RUF hold on Freetown, 1997, 1998, then they restored Tijankaba in government. Shortly after, he resigned. He said they pay as information minister been too small. So he said they go into private service and take over the whole account of Celtel, one have been the major mobile service company, and it must have been very good for him. After that, he built television, radio, newspaper. So people then can resign because maybe outside and they not they make boku money in a government. Government not get boku money. The best they can pay you maybe is $7,000. What if you get a contract that will be making you $200,000 without you having to steal?
Okay.
So there are reasons why people resign.
Okay,
so we cannot speculate.
You're very much correct, but I think you still divert the question, and you still not answer the question I ask you. I know they ask you about a reason anymore. Basically they ask whether it will create gap in the government of the presidency or not. And basically in position where they will be play and whether it will create gap or not. So that's what they ask. Not whether not the reason. Yes, of course, make it very clear. Not only Solomon where you can tell me waiting at the reason we make it resign. But apart from that, we don't speculate. I'm very clear. That's not the question I ask.
And that's not the question we are refused for speculation. We don't know why the man resigned. There has been precedence.
No. I think you missed the question I asked. The question not about why.
Yeah.
Not about why. The question I asked you now about whether in resignation will create gap. Because now in the press sector, whether in resignation will create gap or it not will create any gap. Now that's the question.
Well, of course, when the presidency and fit for appointment, that means he was filling a space, an important space. It's a very articulate, very resonant man where they speak with confidence. So I'm sure he will be missed. But there are others there who can fill in. There's P.K. Mwana. I think there's Joseph Magai. I think there's Mike Barrett. They're all in State House. They can fill in that gap.
All right. Okay, so let me go now quickly to something where you write. After Madam, you actually pulled address the nation recently, the last address we addressed the nation. You've been do one short, social media write-up where you basically say you're not going to call for peace, and you interesting. You do 5 different audios them in one group, where I take all of the audio and I put them together, and I post them out for the people them actually listen all together, for the noting that you've used on that. So the question I want to ask you, one key thing that I will take from you now, you say you're not going to preach peace, and then you actually the wage war against the people of the country, against women, the kingdom, the youth, and all. Waiting actually be the time for talk because we see the president made the call for let's build bridge instead of we build wall.
Correct. Me at 69 years of age. Me way then 30 years ago, I returned from Nigeria to this country. Me company them in day where we all go college together. We'll be outspoken and they write all the time.
So sorry.
I
want you do all the phone go being small so we will see you face fine.
Go over that again.
Yes, pull the phone, the face that you face. I don't know what I talk about. Pull the phone that you face small, so we're going for see you fine.
You want to see me wall face?
Exactly.
This me wall face?
Yes, because you're an old man. You're not sexy man, but you're an old man. So we don't see no more. So we know that they talk.
So now the point where I've been to make, right? The company, we all grow up, go university together, be outspoken, the right Olu Gordon, late Olu Gordon, late Pius Fori, late Christian Kelly was much younger than me, late Indolo tribe, they all don't die. So it looks, look around, look like saying, I mean, one grand on left, where we the right, where you the right, as in the newspaper, they critique the society, criticize society. You the hope say better go calm that country. But I remember one time late Olu Gordon, he was the most fearless among our own generation. He can meet me. I think that was about maybe just before he died, 2011 or so. There was some conference at the British Council. Then he can sit down near me and say, Oswald, now this one we've been the fed for. Look how the country done time. So, if I can talk for them, if I can talk for myself, where we go through the war, where we see the body, they don't grown, vulture, then they can eat the body, then they cut foot. Me go to the amputee camp 1999, I talk to the amputee, they get their story and photographs them. So I know what happened during the war. My own family was them born on January 6, 1999. So after we don't go through all the horrors that day in our society, one hopes say there will be a radical departure from the corruption, from the mismanagement, from the political tribalism of the past. But I'm sorry to say, and I invoke the spirit of them one and we like Pius and Fori and Olu Gordon would on pass. If una demand the yeri from Usa in day, una come no, una can give you the spirit. Almost nothing has changed in the governance sector of this country. We almost are standing one place. The thing that we cause the civil war, the nasty, one of the nastiest, one of the most nauseous and brutal civil war in terms of concentrated brutality. Nothing has changed. We still, the few people there, not the political circle, not the bureaucracy, still they continue what they do, the thief. The anti-corruption, they make people and they afraid small bits. Then Califala don't move the ranking according to Transparency International from 41 to 81 and 79%. But you can see, I don't write this one before over the past couple of years. Even the blind man can see corruption all over Freetown and the peninsula there. People that they build holes left and right. Like say, would they ban petroleum? Boom, like where Iran, Iraq, Nigeria in the 1970s, 1980s, we get buckles of lost money. But we not get that. We cannot see indigenous business. We then say this big business, this bank, this factory, na Salomon don't start up. You know they say but you they see Osis them individual 500,000, $1 million Osis
with
auto
all
one.
of those things here, are still they very much concerned about why you use this word say the president will call for this, but rather they wage war against citizens. Then, you know, if we limit them to the yes, the corruption way they talk about, but don't limit them to the speech and you know that particular thing there, because you very much in your audio, you very much clear about what you mean. So let people understand why you say the president will wage war on the people and why they call for different things.
The president and the head the executive. The executive arm and they control the bureaucracy, the civil service and the public sector like NASIT and NRA. So there's a lot of corruption there. And a few people inside the institution, and they make a lot of money. Me working on the NRA for about 8 years, so I know what is going on. Working in the ERE, but this was under Ernest Bai Koroma time where I left come out NRA 2011. Here is the individual officers, then NRA, they get over $1 million, not in foreign account, not salon alone. But then it is not only the president, it's the whole system, the judiciary, the parliament. The parliament, they make laws in secrecy. They not they tell the people then which laws then they make. And when they make the laws, then they explain to the people then. Then they write the laws in language where the people then they understand. All the laws where parliament they make, they're supposed for translator into Creole, Mende, Chimney, Fuller. So the people then go understand what thing they want to do before they make the laws. And where they make the laws, they're supposed for bring the laws and can done. Parliament supposed for do oversight, but then supposed for the watch, then government agency for prevent corruption and for dig out corruption. But what is successive parliaments from 1996, now they do now oversight there. Now, Usten here is a parliament called managing director of Seratel and Grelam, commissioner general of NRA or director general of NASIT, and grill them and say, hey, these are the receipts. No, parliament has not done that. And I challenge anybody with a work now, any university where they study law. I challenge any, just a single one person when an imam or pastor, we go tell we say justice the judiciary. Nobody's going to get reputation, go risking reputation. The judiciary should be the arm where say like we in Tanda in 1960, me member, we then say then the Kayugo court. You say the Kayugo court, you show 98% say you get justice. You go fight your own lawyer. But now all man knows say that not a be. The judiciary they use the laws for pervert justice. They not give justice to the ordinary man. They go whisper them, they go twist you, they go turn you. Even when they say they get special court, the judiciary don't make a special court for the Anti-Corruption Commission. Where they make this special court here, then suppose for fast-track corruption cases. Me go there, or to say hypothetical. I meet I think the public affairs director of the judiciary. I talk to him. I say, tell me, is this thing work? He say yes, with the work. When now when anti-corruption cases then come, with the fast tracker, I say, give me the data. You know, give me the data. Instead, we all to meet up on social media and begin arguing me, hey, now show me the talk. I say, no, now me approach you, now you get the onus to offend me for give me the data. So one of the reasons the way the Ben Kalfala-led Anti-Corruption Commission, they put so much emphasis on out-of-court settlement. Now out-of-court settlement, what it means is that if Anti-Corruption Commission don't investigate you, then it don't say you don't thief 5 billion. You lawyer say this case, this 5 billion, you know come out Panama if they care you gonna court. So the Anti-Corruption Commission get that power, they say no, we're not go with them na court. This 5 billion where you don't thief, you they give government 2 billion leones. Because for going to court, Now we step. Now the logic of the Anti-Corruption Commission is that the law where they make, when a parliament make, where parliament, I think they amend, I think 2009 or so, the law say if them tell you go court, then prosecute you, then convict you, the final way then they pay, you get for pay now 50 million old leone. So if the person on 5 billion leone, you go fine them 50 million leone, not joke. The law also give the discretion to the judges for send you go jail for 5 years or not to 5 years. So that's not discretion. It's not mandatory say we then convict you and for send you go jail for 5 years. The law can decide not to.
Right.
So now what in the fellow in they argue, why don't you hear and they argue, what you have to go western court for? Then they will find the man 50 million leone. In most cases, then not they send the man go jail. So now we take some few billion leone for the man who don't thief. But Mio argument has been consistent. Justice is not transactional. Or to Accra you said, or to Belgium you did for the sale chair and carpet. Or to for make justice, or to for make the government make money. Justice now for send a signal to the people, not do this one again. Right. If you do this one, you will damage yourself.
So basically, that's not a war where we see, because in
we're not landing this. Okay, the out of court settlement means say you they try for clean up the image of the man, because once you not convict the man, you not convict and say in a criminal, then the man can go out and become chairman of a party or presidential candidate. So you don't watch, or you go to the United Nations. So you don't clean the man up, but the money where they take now the money and all the money went thief. So the important point where the lobby for, where I say this war on the people, then law there we supposed for change it. Because then law that we will get, the parliament or the executive or the judiciary, then they help the few people, I can say about 1% of the people them, for enrich themselves. 99% of the people then they suffer. Now war you the fight from the people there.
All right. Continue for the week inside the program. Name that Oswald answers. Interesting. A post that particular audio then they for a group of like 250. And now in views where he gets now about 10,000 views, where he actually 10,200 views, where we post them back for the people waiting a talk. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't even share them, so you don't get more views than waiting ESSM they anticipate. So we got another guest at the program, Mahmoud Tim Kagbo. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Sengwe Pierre. Good morning, Daddy Oswald.
Okay. You just meet with the talk about, Oswald in peace, where you do, and he basically asked to Marabio in speech, say, okay, we agree, say yes, you call on people and follow come together, follow build bridge instead of wall, but at the same time, Marabio, you get for stop, you war against the people of Sierra Leone. This is exactly what he said. And you don't listen to what it means. What you take on this? Because basically they talk about certain things that we know they go on right. Not to now begin, but now it's still the continue.
Well, that's the most regrettable part of changing a government in this part of the world. Normally, when we change, hopefully when we change a government, we get some positive things. Mm-hmm. But we keep on changing, then we are not getting the positive things that we are changing for. So that's the most unfortunate part. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do agree with Akinami Daddy Oswald is my father. I do agree with on the voting and voting in the talk. Mm-hmm. This is a country where we all belong to. Mm-hmm. And we all get responsibility on our shoulders, and one way or the other for effect the peaceful, positive change and for the country before. People beget trust. Huge amount of trust was put on the shoulders of President Madabio. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, when he comes, people will look at us and say from a military aspect, it will be discipline, we will see law be effected in the land for the general good, and we will see a lot of positive things. But that's not what we are seeing. And we continue for democratic values, especially the executive arm of it. Because looking at Sierra Leone, the system, whatever responsibility for move the country forward, if it is qualified to be a country, whatever responsibility we therefore take, that responsibility therefore come out from the executive arm. The manner in which the executive arm they press, and the level of impunity at which they do things, surely will stifle development in the country. And we continue to say this not because of malice or because of hatred. It is the hard truth. We will bring this country to the level where we want them. Oswald Hansen was talking about 60 or more years. We then only try to effect this change, and it's not happening. Then you get old people we call like the foray and others where God don't take their lives, and instill them on the spot. It tells you exactly, say, we don't get leader inside the country. There is a difference between a leader and a ruler. Most of the people we continue to celebrate in Sierra Leone are just rulers. They are not leaders.
They are rulers.
A leader, yeah, they are just rulers. They are not leaders. A ruler, they come, they con the people them, bring them some good things when the people them work for you. Then the people them support them and vote for them. When they don't vote for them,
so look at this thing. You be Oswald just to tell me about the fight against corruption, other things. Then you said just to talk about what you say you do and what they happen now. Two different things. This is a paper where basically we don't put several times because it speaks volume for the rest of the time where Julius Marabil on day. He said interesting. Julius Marabil tell me say it can for cover the leakages then. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons the way he do that. It take all the accounts and make them report, and say let me see how money they go inside, how money they come outside. Okay, but the paper say now the leakages they don't turn Sambagota. Of course, we all know what's in a Sambagota. We see the recent audit report. Let's take you from this recent audit report in 2022. Although Ben Kelfala saying are just mere opinion, but mere opinion they make with it get reset into a system whereas the people them actually they suffer. Oswald don't say the way draw against the people. 1% of the people of the population they benefit, 99% of the population they suffer. Look at this thing. Out of 2022 budget, audit report, we say 327 million we actually lost. Guess waiting the audit report say. This is not the policy where Marabil trust and puts that position. They say 70% of all the money where they withdraw from the account of Salone without supporting documents. That is to say, when they don't explain anything way, now the reason that we make they use that company, 70% of that company come out from the presidency. So, things they get worse like every other year. 2018 when we were like, okay, then they look good because you put two combined. The waiting APC thief, waiting SLPP thief, now figure out inside the 2018 report. We see them say 56.2 billion euros, now the reports tell you about. But 2019, we see it look a bit worse. They say 177, but again, the argument they say no, because they see them go back in the days of the APC. They say okay, still a lot of this report reflect what happened inside APC. Then we say okay, let's forge ahead. 2020 audit report come back and tell we say 153.9 billion, now missing back home. Argument begin they reduce, the tempo begin the candle. Now, instead of them find how for settling things the one when they pull and do all of the information, when I do the general and the deputy, now then they go after. Now they pull on 2021, now the young when they believe, now they put inside it. Now, it look worse past where Lara be day. Even when they order the trust, now they in tell me about 171 billion. After that day, 2022 again, it look worse past all the other year of 327 billion. So, team, what do you see the happen? Where are we going? Where will they go with this fight against corruption? With this kind of thing where they happen all over? We really serious?
From the outset, you don't do for say the fight against corruption wasn't a serious thing. We get a situation from the, like I was saying this from the outset. when President Bio took over governance, he set up a commission of inquiry. And he used state funds to finance that commission of inquiry. This government till date, as we are talking, not tell me how much of state funds we are used to ascertain or to finance the commission of inquiry. That is lack of transparency. The money where he used, not to money. It's a state fund, it's a taxpayer's money. And one of the fundamental principles of democracy is transparency, being transparent and accountable to the government. But we failed to see that. From that point, I was ringing the bell, raising the whistle, saying, look, not to show them the fight corruption. But when we do our say, no, you are APC. You not ready for support this commission of inquiry. That was the starting. You not going to use state resources, let's say like personal. You bring down judges them outside. Yes, okay, they can trace. But first of all, tell me how much of the state funds used in this particular investigation. Then liability for we don't start. Notwithstanding, we continue when President Bio will travel outside. We didn't know the amount of people where he travel.
Yes.
Gone. That was cut off. We continue for. I keep on asking the question. Keketuma will be published again. I said, why since that time where they travel, where they go show me watch it and other people and they block with them watch it, then we question what is the essence of those people on that particular trip, because it was assumed that they use state funds to finance that particular trip. So whosoever in the Sunday must get a very efficient role for play, not to turn his business and go par. When we continue to ask short questions, till date, we didn't know again the delegation where the president traveled.
So it started, and then we begin defend them.
Yes. So it started in a gradual pace, and then it gets worse. Till we reach this level now, till Tolara Pierce was getting rid of, and now we get another professional. One thing, Sierra Leone, we get so many people where we can question their ability. But again, you have few professionals that stand the test of time. When there's man for the interest of the country. So it doesn't matter whether man wasn't there. This was not a mistake. Corruption is corruption. If the guy where then believe them put stay, if he is professional enough, then until on act the corruption, it just has to publish it. And for let somebody call a professional report, say a mere opinion, it tells you exactly that the person is aiding and abetting corruption. You cannot refer to a professional report as a mere opinion.
All right.
No.
So the still the corruption talk will continue, and I basically want for the to go inside something now very different. Before we move to the recent things that will happen. Although this are recent. As recent as, somewhere there, we see things that happen in the parliament, Let's just go and try to see what I can do for bring up this particular paper. We speak to that particular issue there for let we all understand within we basically try to bring them out. They talk about the issue of the audit report. Sorry, not the audit report, the issue of parliament. Where we get the Speaker of Parliament versus the Clerk of Parliament. So this now within this paper say, and this paper na saloon compass, let's just bring them up for people and let them see them. I won't forget one or two opinion into all of this. This are the headline we put. Holy Ghost fire in Parliament. Clerk in 5G corruption scam. Speaker in sexual harassment allegation. SLPP MPs at loggerhead. So now we see the speaker, actually the clerk, then the press said the clerk very much corrupt. We don't hear the speaker don't come out and say this painting. But now a lot of people within the SLPP and the government, they try to twist now the thing from we the people for not focus on the corruption. Rather, then it's now time for tell we say the sexual harassment of the speaker are the most paramount, or are the most important one. So let's just open up for one or two. What do you not think about that particular issue they right now in Parliament? Oswald.
Anybody is innocent until proven guilty beyond all reasonable doubt in a competent court of law. Now that then teach me what I do law 1976, 1977 at Primary College. But when the anti-corruption thinks it necessary to begin to investigate you when you play a very strategic role in a parliament, you first step aside. If you now resign, you first left your office. That's not the ethical thing for do. Now, if the man parentarily now left the office, then the society, the civil society, the pastor them, the imam them, the women's group will tell and say, bruh, step aside. You see, it is governments, not always, they're not reform themselves. You therefore put pressure upon them. Within the imam, interreligious council of churches, what they don't say about this thing. So if they not say anything, then they youth them, they picking them, then get them group them. We are the victims of this system over the past 60 years. Then for rise up and say something. The Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, in the collective, maybe 10, 20 papers then for come up with a statement, step aside. You are not guilty, but let us be free to, anti-corruption, be free to investigate you. They have to go through all the papers of parliament with man call them fine-tooth comb, with a microscope. When I forget say, oh no, as also when a member say, well, Honorable Hindolo Givao been talk and go on an interview and say parliament is corrupt. If I will write something on that, maybe and I get the facts and figures, but if parliament now they do their oversight of government ministries, departments and agencies, that means say parliament was at that time implicitly corrupt. I wrote that in my article. Nobody challenged me. So this is should be a catalyst for look thoroughly at parliament, for look at the functions of parliament and the individual role that we each parliamentarian then they play, the press for come up. Where this crisis day, you want an MP na Bot, you want an MP na Bombali, expressly, what do you talk? I see them put on the media, SLPP MPs then go meet President Mada Bio. When you party in a power, SLP in a power, it look good. It look as if you are going to be there forever. But any corruption or misgovernance way you support, it could hold against you tomorrow. Now, so we APC in a power, maybe in a state house, I'm in the Yeri again and again, within a power for the next 50 years. Honorable Mohammed Bangura was interviewed on radio. We did it for the next 50 years. So then they fool themselves. You're not going to be there for one more time if you don't cleanse your system. You don't provide goods and services for the people. You're going to be kicked out. There's almost a certainty of...
In the beginning of the statement, you say the court of law, waiting and teach you and that you not will be guilty until the court of law prove you say you're guilty. You go serve, you go continue for being innocent. But let me understand this thing again. Some technical or critical thing happen are inside this same case what you talk about, yeah? Now, one of the biggest allegations against Parantarawalina that he employed a wife and they pay over 31 million every month for the last 2 years, you know, and then anti-corruption. That's not the allegation. Anti-corruption say this woman don't say they pay the money back and they don't pull 10 months money from her. So let me look at this critically. If you will not say yes at the court of law, then for say you're guilty or not guilty. But if they accuse you for this and then you say yes at the pay, like when you say out of court settlement, when you are against totally. If this woman not say yes at the pay this money back, what did that mean?
I mean, implicitly, the woman admits in guilt. So implicitly, parentally, for either resign or step aside. Because that is what the anti-corruption has the power to do out of court settlement. So that the woman pay back the money according to anti-corruption commission, that's now an out of court settlement agreement. we meet on right again and again. I don't agree with. When you commit a crime, you should be prosecuted, convicted, and you should get the stain of that crime forever and ever in your life, not out of court settlement. Even if no man they paid back that money, then for still carry and go court and convict them together with the man parentarily. Once we begin for play around with the laws because we think say we get power, not temporary power. Very temporary. You can lose that power. You could be disgraced. And the most dangerous thing on it, when the civilians begin to play with the law, then feel say they get power, then feel say they go fool the people, then they go twist the law. And then the people then not get hope. See the civilians them, what they call themselves democracy. I call it a pseudo-democracy, fake democracy. We have an oligarchy, not democracy. When they feel so them go do that perpetually, you actually they send invitation to the soldier man. We, the civilians, we na Pekin. They're unruly Pekin. They're Pekin that we grow up in a slum. We're not able to control ourselves. We can't take over. And this is not hypothetical.
Okay, so
that's something we don't have to do. You are actually inviting the soldiers to come in.
Okay, team, lack out you inside quickly. As this thing they go all around, this now waiting the parliament tell journalists now. He say Honorable Parliamentary did not recruit his wife. In fact, Honorable Parliamentary been there out of the country where that's exactly when the parliamentary service, the director of human resource inside 2021. Now this date don't confirm. 2021, actually recruit Paran in woman. But the allegation now, Paran na the head of the Parliamentary Service Commission, yeah, na in at the administrative head. Nobody know they whether they recruit where in not the SIA. You understand? More especially when in wealth. Now, let's say yes, okay, then don't agree say you wealth na the human resource department na the employer, and you woman according to the investigation na a human resource officer na parliament, but one day go na parliament. So what do you take on this particular issue?
That excuse is a feeble excuse to say honorable parent. I see that right up. I think it was written by Pastor Mohammed Sisse. That's one of the most feeble excuses where I ever set eyes on a very serious issue like this. Then he tried to trivialize it. You cannot trivialize short issue. This is the head of the administration. Let me get them very clear. He is in charge, even on his absence. If he is out of the country where they come, then go get what we refer to as situational report. For tell him X, Y, Z in take place when he not there. And this report is very close to him. I think the author the driver tell me say Parano even sabi work. And you don't know in work in credentials. That is what he's trying to tell us. Because if he come and then they give situation and feedback, when he be there, a lot of times assume say yes, he was out of the country. And when he is back, and then he was updating on the situation where happened behind the back on the one where they recruit, then he see a wife. Then notwithstanding, a wife continue for receive salary, then you know the CID. If they receive salary continuously when month long, then you know the CID they go. Somebody were honest enough. That alone, if we don't ask why this is going on. But you don't ever do. Now until what to blow and come up with that. So and sometimes they get this issue of level, he says scratch me back, I scratch you back. And I understand the current tension between the Speaker of the House and the head of the administrative and the clerk of the House. The issue is when this short corruption can take place, then they expect, say, like the Speaker of the House, for don't make sure say he supports Para through and through. But because he refrained and then he asked for an investigation to be instituted, this go against Paran and his own supporters, their own feelings. So the next thing what they do is try to get ways and means where they will bring them back inside and then try to tint in your image, which is very bad. We have a prevailing situation at hand where involve corruption. Let us deal with it. The issue of sexual harassment and other things, no, be ever come up. It only they come up now because he refused to support her. We are not fools. We know exactly what will lead to this. After when he refused to support her, when himself says, then what's and plan this. And that's also a similar situation where Honorable Tawa went on the defender now for Paran. Now the same thing. When Honorable Tawa be whistle out say there is corruption in Parliament and he talks some things, then what he Paran do? He go after him. And they made the ensure that he was silent. Now, instead of feeling present at the time where if a pitch fence or men fences Paran. So instead of coming to support her. So you see people are not serious. We have people in charge and positions of trust that are not serious-minded people. Or they have no business to be there in the first instance. But if we get a specific set of government where they're ready for circumvent the rule and protect the establishment members, then you have a failed state. This is how a state becomes a failed state, because there are no system and processes for uphold the values. When you feel say these are the democratic values, wait for be for the general good. And that's to be a serious heading to. So this is pathetic. We don't even expect them for paper over the cards of Paran at this point in time. Even the author, if the author of that particular piece is a patriot, if I don't know what LT for, we don't do.
So that asks you
cannot go and try to play around it. Why is he still there?
We see Oswald don't say Paran for don't step aside or then for actually suspend also, but we still see it in our office. And remember, as he pleases His Excellency the President, now he put another position there. So waiting this the main. Now this thing on the span for a long of time, but we not hearing any action against Paran is still there, not for word from the office of the President like when they do for the Auditor General, for example, where they say professional misconduct, then they suspend them 2 years ago. But now Paran still in the office, they work against salary and they say that the investigator. But it's still a tamper with evidence them, or still the signed document them in the office, as it pleases His Excellency the President.
That's the sad thing. That's the sad situation of the entire thing. We get a country with a network with corruption cables. It just takes somebody to put the switch on. Everywhere is corrupt. So that's the situation, the prevailing situation currently. You cannot talk about fighting corruption genuine. Then you get somebody with the administrative head of the legislative arm of government, when you pull on it, and he gets short, dangerous allegation against ask him to step aside. Apparently, they want another particular seat go empower for influence the outcome of whatever decision they will make or investigation they will make, because he is there, and that seat is a very powerful seat. So the best way if you want to clean the system is to ask him to step aside while the investigation they go on. Okay. But you cannot keep him there and then you're telling us that you're fighting corruption. That's not a serious way to fight corruption.
All right. Continue for the week inside the program. I want to take on to one other issue quickly. The 2020 finance law. Now it don't become law because jointly APC and SLPP they agree for them. And then the president actually don't sign them now, it will become law. And basically this particular Finance Act, they focus on something, they focus on revenue mobilization. That is to say, how the government will get more money, but at the same time, this as well, they bring more money for government and more hardness or more difficulty, more poverty for the people. Well, according to a lot of commentators them. Oswald, what do you think about this? Yes, go ahead. You do like. Oswald, will you hear you? Go ahead.
Are you getting me?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Well, the Finance Act, way they talk about, I lost you the last minute, and I say it. But then this thing, I'm sorry, please, I plead for your apology. The consequences of this parliamentary issue, then step aside and get robust investigation of the issue. No member said we missed this $400 million from the U.S. government, the MCC. And this now one of the reasons then bad governance we miss them. And Salon Dom it got included in this MCC thing since I think 2009. And we didn't miss them until 2018. From 2018, with this government came year after year, we not go inside. That now $400 million. For me, now ideological point for me for whip on. Because me, they na me climate change campaign, they say now we get $2 trillion for African countries there every year. We paid fed for just $400 million, not even $1 billion. And the one reason why the taxpayer them, America and Europe, were for giving our money there, the one reason why they can always talk, not give the African country like Salon money, then go tiffer. Because don't forget, say, a lot of the money whether they thief from countries like Salon, we politicians, we officials, then they go bank and their own back. They know what's in the happen there. So when we're not able for straighten up with system, like what's in the happen like Parliament, we they give the impression then they say, we not picking them, we not subhumans. Then racist them within America, we they vindicate them. We never control ourselves. Why pass MCC they can't put standard for we? You for do well pan women affairs. You for do well pan education. You for do well pan corruption. Before would they give you money? Why not then they can't put standard for we? So to me, I feel extremely pain at the way they handle this specifically parental issue, the way they handle with governance. Who not tell me? The time where David Francis have been chief minister, then J.J. Safar have been chief minister, now David Sengen have been chief minister. Now, which impact they don't get in terms of monitoring and appraising the governance system? Now, who that they not able to identify as chief ministers? Mismanagement denier, corruption denier, as the executive, even before then for take some of them things they go na anti-corruption commission. But when we build up a system, say with the fool people then, with a talk nice talk, then every 5 years we go to the people then with insult we own race. We young country would tell the white man say we are subhumans. And for me as an Pan-African ideologue, it pains me for making now we do that in our country. For me, for go to the white man, give me money for what I don't thief, enslave we. Give me money for all the damn I don't pull now we are buy and cheap. We lose a moral authority. What do they do with that money there for? For make no official then go thief them, then when they talk naughty with the people them. In fact, when they go dance behind them, as if we are mad. I call it APC, SLPP, politics, APC. I call it collective madness. It has to change. If the old people, then the parliament, the judiciary, the pastor, imam, they use them for grabs. And I said, they're not going to treat like August 10, but there's a way where you can make a peaceful revolt against what is happening. Because, let me tell you this one, if you don't rise up against the implicit corruption and express corruption, where you see all over us and they build $1 million house, they see business. If you don't rise up against, what do you do? Now suicide you commit. You die slow one. What an day, clean drinking water, you don't get good food, you don't get nutritious food, you don't get quality education, you teacher they not get paid. Now kill yourself. This must stop. And my hope is that the president will take the leadership. The SLPP is in power now. Let them get themselves out of that illusion that we're in power, we're going to stay in power forever. You're not going to stay in power if you cannot stimulate goods and services, food and eat and medicines and quality education getting to the people. I am equivocal about that. And at the bend and at the straight, the president, the SFP, must take the leadership for cleanse the system in Sierra Leone. Only then will they stay in power. They will never stay in power when prices are going up, rice prices go up, tomatoes price don't go up because at my age, I eat tomatoes every day. It don't go up about 6 times over the past 5 years. You can't keep on fooling the people. Me come out bond. Not me home na bond. I go bond this December 2023. I go fish na bond in a day. Send for go buy fish na market. That's a fish na day. 2019 I go bond. I carry video camera crew go na bond. When I carry video camera crew go na bond, I interview. I put her on video. Fisherman them na a place called Mania inside Bond City. Then say the fisherman them then talk on a Mende, then talk on a Shabro. Then say fish na day na the water. What in do? The Chinese boat, then they can and they catch all the fish then. Then they buy the good fish then with the local fishermen then they catch, and they buy them from the fisherman then. Because the fisherman, so then they bring fish. I go to the market and so the fish, they fully one palm, they full them. So I put on social media about 30 times. Nobody, not JJ Safa was finance minister, chief minister, not Singapore Thomas, who the deputy speaker, all from Bond. They not talk nothing. So even when you identify a specific problem, they don't address it. So what do me for do now? Me as a person from Bond, I know that they happen. Me Bond people, they not come for address now people, the way they affect me, all the people that are Bond. I for begin for right, talk and do. That's betrayal of the people. We got for wake up. It's not as if where an Escoma been there, natural born leader, Messiah, who not go take video camera now na go McKinney, Tonko Lily, when the APC may get 90% of the vote. It's almost, I will almost say 99%. No sustainable industry was established in Tonko Lily and Bompali during the 11 years of Ernest Bai Koroma. And worst, the whole northern province suffered severe environmental degradation during that period. The ground, the dry, soil erosion. So this goes beyond APC, SLPP, the collective badness of SLPP, APC. The whole society has to rise. The youth, the media have to take the leadership. We must stop this full business. We don't all with the go with the CDC, with the settlement. Me never settlement to if the president wants me to show him what to do, I will take the leadership. He cannot keep on pampering the government officials when not they work. I don't talk this one several times. If now cook cream, I mean, when they get up 3 o'clock in the morning for cook. Now Okada rider, when they get up 5:30, they go na treat the whole net, the yakpa up and down. Now farmer, when they get up early morning for going to farm. If they know the laziness within a government, then one day when they chop with money boku, they will go up in the street tomorrow. They go revolt. They are not working and they are stealing most of the money. This is unacceptable. Do you? Not beg me to beg. You waiting at the media, get to your other company under the media. How do APC, SLPP business this? This is not APC. From Tijan Kaba in time, SLPP, to another in time, APC, to now we get SLPP. It's not the same thing, bro. We're going to stop this thing. Do you? Not beg me to beg. And I would tell the president that his chief ministers are not working. They've never worked. They don't even know what is going on. Or if they know, they don't have the courage to bring about administrative rigor in the system. Then stop that thing. If you want for work, then call the media and credible media like team, like me, like Omar Fofana. Like even Silver Blyden. Then we go and work with the chief minister for see what thing they happen. Now all ministries then. You take the fisheries ministry. Then they can differ with fish, then they go. What Now ask you a question there. You see me finger where the point, right? You tell me what you remember now about any mining contract with a non-established between government and mining companies over the past 10 years. You don't know anything. You don't know the details. You don't know that there's an access to information law, which was made law by the APC majority in the Parliament 2009. Now law they say all government ministries, departments, and agencies every 3 months, every 6 months, therefore tell we all waiting in the pan. So now the law. The local government agency all waiting in the fan, therefore post them out, now they wall them. So all man waiting in the fan. We have a law for effect, transparency, and accountability. The people do not know about that law. The people must know about that law. And the people must demand transparency and accountability. Or else, I say suicide, I kill on the kill on myself. The Allah APC SZPP. This is suicide. And we can change this one dramatically, get billions of dollars from the rich man that we don't help for thievery and suppressory and slavery. But we cannot do it when our own society is rotting.
All right. Thank you. And Tim, you see, I listened to Oswald, now two things I know about Oswald. Sometimes it can be diplomatic, sometimes it can be very much blunt, when it say certain things. In the case of this one, it depends on how the issue hit on for that day. Like this one hit on the wrong part, so if it become very much emotional for telling you about really waiting they happen. That's why I listen to them carefully and without interrupting, because they actually say things them and I then things they are so people they feel now the pains and this way people in the feel. But let's take you back with all of the corruption, all of the things that we Oswald store address. So we see every year how the corruption is smelled inside the government. From the top office to the down office, everybody they try for making your way out of them. But now, then they turn the whole thing back. Remember, Oswald say 1% of the people and they benefit, 99% they suffer. But this 1% now don't turn against the 99%. Say, them people are, in as much as we know they provide everything they want, we'll turn back to them and impose more tax for them, so we will get more money and say in the name of we want to develop things there. But which of course we all know say now for them sell things there. But what do you make up of the 2024 and Finance Act where they just don't pass now, where they pass and matter they don't agree say yes if they for implement them, we get foresee they put find they add more tax per year, add tax per cement and all that basic things then. When are them the people that they live on for let their life go continue for go. What do you think of that? Because people say more revenue for government and more suffering for the people.
First of all, law make this very clear. These are IMF conditionalities, and the government of BO, because of the level where they don't surrender the country to these neocolonialist and imperialist organizations, they have no choice but to just to by their path. They are ordered not to say nothing where they plan for you. Now order them. And guess what? A huge amount of this amount, they go for service debt. So the issue of saying, yes, government is going to raise huge amount of cash, which is very clear. But what are they going to do with this cash? Are they going to use it to address the challenges that we have on the particular amount they go for service debt? This is very, very clear. And if not, they get for move the country go side. That is why we need a country with a leader.
Mahmoud, did you get me?
Most of these conditions we initially resisted by Ahmed Jankabai in government.
Mahmoud, did you get me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you talk something very important, but the line, I think
they get you.
The weight's not too much on the line. So for the sake of for
they get you clearly.
Okay. For that we hear you already with the talk, and one for the turn off the camera for now, and left only the audio. Then we hear you. Maybe that will add. It will reduce the pressure on the line. Yes, just turn off the camera and left the rating because you line red when means say the internet is struggle. So if you turn off the camera, then they will try and see waiting the sound will like. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You okay now?
Better, yes.
You okay?
Better.
Okay. Like I was saying, the government of President Bio not get no option on this. They were ordered to do what they did. Before that Finance Act they go to Parliament, there was an article where I see the IMF conditions on the impoverished economies. So I did that article and then publish it for draw the attention of the people and say that this is India for Kamu and government. They don't force the government for them to make sure say the government do these things. So they have no options. Initially, when we began the government of the late Pakaba, that was why we see say in government was a very good government. When they get the face in short a situation, what then they do? Then they weigh the advantages. Try to know the advantage and disadvantage to their own people them on this particular conditions. If these conditions are not favorable to them, they go back because these are people who get what it takes for sit down with organizations like IMF and World Bank, and then they go back and sit down and reason with them until they reach at a point where they see say this in order for bleed the people, in order for add more poverty to the people. But this is not the situation here. Here, even if now APC be there now, it gets me clearly.
Clear, go ahead, yes.
Okay. Here, even if in an APC be there now power, as long as they continue to surrender themselves to the parts of these neo-colonialist and imperialist orders, where they get from them, we for just continue for suffer in the same manner. So it's like, yes.
Okay, so we find out, say, at one point, this might be one of the reasons we make some of them don't also be avoid the last government because they been tell them, say, they need to do this attacks, and this, pull a, how they call it, subsidy on the rest and other things, then for let them wait for help them. But the last government be refused, right?
Yeah, the last government be do their own. But they be able for push, but the hardship. Some of the, if you talk to some of the people that will be there at the thick of it all, we're on the last government, they will tell you, say, even the advices the way they get from professors, I don't like to name names here, but I will tell you that they regret some of the advice the way they get from the one that we call as professionals, where be there and they give them this advice. Because when they implement such advices, they know they have the advantage or the benefits of the people and the country. In most cases, those advices they turn back and then affect the people in a number of odd ways. So that was why you be see then even when they say, hey, no, we are not, we this is too hard. Later they come back and do them. And this that's the same thing. Not only Sierra Leone, it's the same thing to Ghana. It's the same thing to other countries, even Nigeria. This, like I was calling the short. I think the last article where I do on this, where I talk, it was titled IMF Campaign Against Poverty Eradication in Developing Countries. So it was very clear. And to anybody who get sense, no say, what's in the for IMF for engage in now? Now, how for dismantle trade barriers? Those are the things that for they call. How for reduce corruption in these small countries? And how for make sure they reduce bureaucratic and procedures? How for make sure say they lower financial imposition, implementing effective monetary policies. These are the things what we expect say IMF for tell we governments them for do. But that's not the case here. What they do is that for raise more money, let government raise more money by adding taxes on essential commodities. We go equally give the government pressure between them and the people them. And a huge amount of that money, they go for service the debt, where then don't give we own government. And this debt here, so not to wait for pay for this debt. I continue to say it. IMF then get conditions. Or the World Bank get them conditions. When they pay them people out, they tell them that this money must be wisely spent. If these people refuse to spend this money wisely, And when I get professionals then at the ground, when I tell the government, say, okay, since you now utilize the money wisely, we know they continue again for loan now. But they continue to loan them, go into negative deals with some government officials just because of 10% issue. Then when they don't go into these negative deals, then the country go into debt and the country starts to pay all these things. So it doesn't make sense. You see, that is why you also need to get a leader who is street smart, a leader who gets a thorough research team. We go able to unearth some of these things and look for facts and data. We go able to substantiate all these things where IMF and World Bank they do in their developing countries, and find out ways and means where they will sit with them, negotiate for the development. These people say they can't champion democracy and make sure that they upgrade the standard of living of the people in the countries that where they upgrade, where they operate, I'm sorry. If they've not been upgrading the standard of living of the people, all the conditions that will make sure that the people then get more poverty, it's a call for concern.
Right.
If the government is able to sit down with them, reason with them, and tell them, say, no, we don't see the need for us to increase taxes on essential commodities, especially at a challenging time like this, when essential prices of essential commodities are increasing globally. Then una countries, then they subsidize. Government over there are subsidizing to ensure that prices of essential commodities come down. When it comes to we at the developing side, then they tell the government, say, let them not subsidize.
And the way you talk so, Mahmoud, something they were very much interesting here. Now they tell the government and say let them not subsidize, but guess what thing they do? Then countries also with this so. Then they even put money give to people that we know they work like every day, every month.
Sure.
Then they put money give to people that when they do business, when they consider the business then they know they make profit every month. Then they pull money give to family them for them picking them every month. But we don't country them, they don't want that to happen.
Yes. So this is where the talk say they need to sit with them and renegotiate. It's
but
either
because of the big guy corruption and all the ways the smell power leaders them. Because like Oswald talk say, when they give me money, we thief the money back, go keep and to them. So then the civil like say we are comedian, they are just fools. But anyway, don't they come to the end of the...
No, that's not an excuse. I'm saying I have to be very honest with you. Corruption in corruption where they come up from World Bank and IMF is so high that now then they incorporate beyond government in Africa. These are the people who show we government in Africa the 10%. Say there is money for you guys, but you are going to get the one the way they at the thick of the situation, then we'll get 10%. And the balance we will use.
Okay. Continue for we just come to the end of the program now. Let's just ask
in terms of short money, often what is that they do? Then they make sure say then carry the people the way they refer to as expatriates. Then bring these expatriates now to who are thieves of work. These expatriates are not even paying taxes in this country. All the tax what they for pay, and then they live luxurious lifestyle. The taxes they want to pay, then they pay another country. So can you see the double standard and the level of exploitation here? So it's not because we countries them corrupt. No, it's because the IMF and World Bank are fantastically corrupt. This is why you see people like where the former president of
World Bank talk say yes, IMF, World Bank they corrupt. That's not true. UNDP says we left them out very much corrupt with some of the projects they give. But again, it all turned down say we government them back, they very much corrupt them big guy. They say they dance to the tune because they always want to forget the big guy and couple. But that comes to the end of the program anyway. We think we'll be in a final submission in the program in just 3 minutes. Oswald.
Well, my final submission now in the way team they talk about. We forget time for discuss and educate the people on them. And yes, there is a book where I read way back when I got into environmentalism, A Fate Worse Than Death by Susan George. We talk say the debt would come out from the developed countries to developing countries. Now war, now low attrition conflict. They not use bomb and guns, but the people then they die. So, but then within team, they talk, them fantastically corrupt, I agree. But now we young politicians and bureaucrats, they collaborate with them. Or because then they own pot the boil, they not care what in the effect of them
Very
policy there on the.
correct. Very correct. Continue. Oh, Oswald, you did it? Oswald?
Let me say the last word.
You get me?
Don't make any more. So.
Oswald,
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost you. Now the issue is that we need to talk about this thing because that made the center of my climate change campaign. Now we got collaborators, and then they join with the enemy, the outside enemy, for making them because then they build their own small house and they pay them $10,000 salary, so they don't care. Now I doubt whether team don't ever join any government delegation with the right modern thing there for go talk na the international world and then help we in Africa. Then they call me pan climate change conference because they know what they stand for. Kanda Yonkala know what they stand for. So they don't want us people like us to be heard because now we dey fight for Africans then. So that is the problem. And the governments, APC government, SFP government, they get their power from the people. But the people are ignorant. So the people need to be educated about what is happening. So the people need to be told that their governments, this government, the previous government, are siding with the enemy for kill them. So we need to educate our people. This one cannot go on. What they are on the talk, we may say you go for call me pan climate change issue. Some people then they talk, experts them, climate change, what thing will happen, na mass murder. People then go die, Boku. Civilizations will collapse bit by bit, country after country. But we environment minister, they talk about that, then go to a conference, then come back, they enjoy themselves. That is the issue. These people are corrupt, then set up the systems them after the Second World War, they call them Bretton Woods institution, World Bank, IMF, then set them up for perpetuate the dominance of the West. But we young people not affect. That's the issue. We capitulate because the man in most now this government and go pull in minister them. We don't study in England, America, and Europe, and can make them minister. So they're not used to that system. They don't live in that country. So they're actually siding with the people in the West. They cannot feel our own pain.
Okay.
So this has to stop.
Thank you very much, Oswald answers. Yes, last time over to you, Mahmoud and Tim Cargo. What thing will be your final submission?
Well, the final submission is Sierra Leoneans just need to brace up for the worst. Looking at the prevailing situation and the economic trajectory in the country, let nobody not tell you, say, there is any positive light at the end of the tunnel. People may say I'm pessimistic or not, but the most important thing is I say it as it is. That's the truth. It doesn't matter whatever projects and drafts or whatever thing that they tell you. But the real situation on the ground is Sierra Leone just need to brace up for the worst. It doesn't matter how many projects them tell you say the government launch. It no matter what the opposition will tell you say, yeah, we hope after this deliberation in Parliament that we're going to have this or that. Those are just political gimmicks. The most important thing is, as long as Sierra Leone as a country we don't get a leader, we will continue to be a poor country. Poor because the entire system is wired with corruption cables, where it say just somebody just need to put the plug on or switch the plug on. Everywhere there is corruption. But when you get a leader, you're going to build up the institutions. You're going to make sure that democratic institutions operate for the general good. And you're going to make sure that this government stand the test of time. Encourage brilliant ideas. For sure, they will not like us. Often they say when the forces of democracy are up, dictators are down. They will not like us because some of the things where we get the courage and the patience for on earth and make let the people they know, these are things where they don't want to follow we do. Just like it takes two to tango. I do agree that we have government or politicians here that are equally good. But if you are saying that they are corrupt, then you limit and just to them. How about the standards where they normally set when they issue out these loans by IMF and World Bank? So all these things we need to put together. But some of them, I do agree, say these are local agents where they operate on behalf of these neo-colonialist and imperialist organizations. So their interest is not the interest of the country and it. Their interest is to make sure that the imperialist and the neo-colonialist ideology continue to reign. We are trained, and some of them we are educated by these institutions. But the bottom line is, if we have a leader, even if I charge you with a social position of trust, if you cannot deliver, and they hold you based on the obligation or you own obligation to the state. But we cannot have a situation whereby we see people continue to paper over the cracks of wrongdoers and then they want us to celebrate. That is not part of their social mandate. And we will continue for talker. They will not like it and they won't like us. For the truth is bitter. But again, it's the truth that will set us free. So we will continue to say it and we will continue to ring the bell. And where necessary, we provide solutions so that they will not say Sierra Leoneans and they want to see this country move forward. And Sierra Leoneans and the way it say they want a change where will represent the general good, not a change for the selected few in social positions of trust. So these are some of the things we need to put on top of our pyramid if at all we are talking about a positive change for Sierra Leone. It doesn't matter the political party, or it doesn't matter the tribe of the leader, or it doesn't matter the region where the leader comes from. What is important is to get somebody who will able to shine light inside that bedroom, and then we move the country forward for the general.
All right. Thank you very much, Mahmoud Tinkagbo, and thank you very much, Oswald Ansel Simona, joining me inside the program. And I think we don't get a wonderful time to now. We look forward for great, fruitful discussion again, as and when necessary, when the issues then will unfold and when things that they happen inside the country. We just hope we will see where we begin to talk about some positive things then, for the interest of the country and the people then. And actually, like Oswald said, there will be a time when we need to stand up against politicians, against bad leadership, against the one that we done the old power and done the corrupt for the rest of the best of the time when they live. So people don't they in power, they talk about 60 almost years, and don't they in power, they continuously corrupt and mess with country, but yet still they talk about them not the best option for the country. And until we stand up to some of them people in there, we're not going to foresee any light at the end of the tunnel, like we think don't say. Well, now so we end the program today. Thanks to you, we don't watch, we don't like, we don't share, we don't comment, and to you yourself where you don't subscribe. And of course, we want for them now. Thank you for joining again and that's it of the program we had. Until then, the freedom fighter. Thanks to our guest and thanks to our producer for this program. We want to get to yourself a wonderful day.